Welcome to our series, Stories from Grandpa, where we bring you timeless tales filled with wisdom, laughter, and lessons for every generation. Gather round, sit back, and enjoy today's story. In a quiet little town tucked behind the hill, near the forest, lived a man with 2 wives. The first wife had only 1 daughter, while the second wife had 7 daughters. The first wife received just a small portion from her husband, 1 share for her and her only daughter, and they occupied the smaller part of the house. The second wife, however, received larger portions to feed herself and her many daughters. Together, the 8 girls shared the household chores, cleaning, cooking, washing, and even venturing into the forest to fetch firewood. One day, the 8 daughters were sent to the forest behind the hill to gather firewood. It was a long day's journey, so they carried their cutlasses and some food. When they arrived, they worked hard, cutting sticks and bundling them together until noon. They rested, ate, and then prepared to carry the bundles back home. Each girl helped her sister lift the firewood onto her head, except for the only daughter of the first wife. She begged them for help, but they ignored her. As the sun began to set, they left her behind and went home. Alone and exhausted, the girl sat sadly on her bundle of wood. When the time reached 7 p.m., she heard a strange rustling in the wind and a deep, combat firm voice said, "Who is rolling in my farm?" Terrified, she replied, "It is I. My sisters and I came to fetch firewood, but they all left me behind because no one would help me place the firewood on my head." The voice belonged to the owner of the farm, who stepped forward and said, "You will come with me to my house for 7 days." The owner took her home and placed her in a room. The next morning, before sunrise, the girl woke up early, cleaned the house, and cooked. She did this every day for the next 7 days without complaint. On the 7th day, the owner took her to the back of the house, where there were many pots of different sizes, shapes, and colors. "Choose one," the owner said. The girl chose the smallest pot. "Listen carefully," the owner said. "On your way home, you will come across 2 streams. The first stream will sing in a deep, loud voice. Bududu bududu bududu, fetch from me, fetch from me. Do not fetch from that one. Keep walking until you meet the second stream, which will sing in a calm, gentle voice. Budidai budidai budidai, fetch from me, fetch from me. Fetch your water there. When you get home, lock the water-filled pot in a room for 7 days. On the 7th day, open it." The girl thanked the owner and began her journey home. She walked until she reached the first stream. True to the owner's words, it sang loudly, "Bududu bududu bududu, fetch from me, fetch from me." She ignored it and walked on until she came to the second stream, which sang softly, "Budidai budidai budidai, fetch from me, fetch from me." She quickly fetched water and went home. When she arrived home, she joyfully called her mother. Together they locked a pot in a room and waited. On the 7th day, they invited neighbors, including the second wife and her daughters, to witness what would happen. When they opened the pot, lo and behold, it was filled with gold, jewelry, money, and many good things, overflowing. The first wife and her daughter shared generously with their neighbors. But the second wife and her daughters refused to take anything and left, angry and envious. From that day, the life of the first wife and her daughter changed completely. A few days later, the second wife sent her daughters back to the forest to fetch firewood. This time, they all helped one another, but the eldest daughter decided she would stay behind just like her half-sister had. At 7 p.m., the wind rustled again and the same calm, firm voice asked, "Who is rolling in my farm?" The eldest daughter replied, "It is I. My sisters and I came to fetch firewood, but they left me behind because no one would help me place my firewood on my head." The owner took her to the house and kept her in a room. The next day, she slept in late, refusing to clean or cook. The owner did all the chores and even served her. She behaved this way for all 7 days. On the 7th day, the owner brought her to the back of the house where the many pots were. "Choose one," the owner said. The eldest daughter chose the largest pot. The owner gave her the same instructions as before, warning her to fetch from the second stream. But as she left, she did not thank the owner. When she reached the first stream and heard its loud singing, she ignored the instructions. She thought, my sister must have lied. This loud one must hold more riches. She fetched water from the first stream, and the pot became very heavy. Smiling greedily, she struggled home, saying to herself, the heavier, the richer. When she arrived, she called her mother and sisters to rejoice. They mocked the first wife and daughter, saying their riches would soon be greater. They locked the pot in a room for 7 days and waited. On the 7th day, the second wife and her daughters went into the room, locked the door, and opened the pot. Suddenly, a foul smell filled the air and black smoke swirled around them. Out poured scorpions, snakes, lions, and other fierce animals, attacking them. They screamed, but no one could save them. What a sad way to end, all because of greed. But that's the way life teaches us: kindness brings blessings, and greed brings sorrow. Join us next time for another story from Grandpa. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming tales.